Hi there. What to do when thoughts are starting to creep out on you? They get into overwhelming stages where things are beginning to look a little bit fuzzy. What do you do? So going into my final 3 weeks of my 12-week challenge, I cannot believe I'm here already, and I'm already seeing the end of this whole challenge in sight. I'm pleased to say that I've already started, putting together my own little online course that I'm trying to do. I've got videos already filmed. I've got lots and lots more videos to add. Hopefully that these 3 weeks are going to be enough. But what do I do? I mean, like at the moment, things sometimes, when it rains, it pours, as they say. So everything coming together in the next following 3 weeks, everything. So I've got my online course. I've got a new project started. I've got new clients coming in. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Just kind of concentrating into these last 3 weeks of this challenge, right? And probably beyond. But, I go through this point where I'm starting to think, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to make it? Why did I do this to myself? Because nobody is telling me to do anything, and I'm just bringing it all on myself. So I'm starting to judge myself. I'm starting to think, wouldn't it have been just easier just to work as normal and then go off on a holiday or something? Why did I just keep piling this on? Of course, I come out of that and I say, well, look, I'm connecting to my values. I'm connecting to my committed action, which means I want to do things because it fulfills me and it's part of my value. It's part of my contribution. It's what I want to do. And it definitely is. But don't think just because we're doing what we want to do, we don't get these disturbing and painful thoughts coming in, right? That's been with me all my life, probably will be all my life, and I've just got to learn, how to live with that, right? But there's ways of kind of helping, and today's book that I'm going to use is the big book of Act Metaphors by Jill Stoddard and Niloufar Afari. They bring an amazing metaphor that I like, because it's not just about, putting your thoughts on leaves, which is one of my favorites, but this is a kind of a movement one, right? So basically, when this happens to me, I just kind of close my eyes and I imagine that I'm on a boat in mid-deep sea, right? And I'm using all my senses to try and orientate myself onto this boat. So I'm deep sea all around me, don't see any land. I can hear the water, I can see the movement, I feel the movement of the boat. I see the boat, the wooden deck, and it's even got sails, this boat. Big boat, but sails. It's got the rudder at the back and the big wooden steering wheel. And I'm kind of smelling that sea and feeling the breeze on my skin. I even feel the sun kind of beating down on the back of my shoulders. And I picture the horizon meeting the sea in the distance, right, as they both kind of come together. And I feel the boat swaying gently beneath my. Gentle waves begin to hit the boat. And I feel the boat starting to rise and fall and rise and fall. And believe me, I'm not a seasoned sailor, right? I don't have my sea legs, as they say. So I'm managing this reasonably well. And then it's not before long, another wave comes along and hits the side of the boat. And the waves are beginning to get bigger and bigger. And so much so that the waves are so big sometimes that they are all I can see. They just kind of woof right over the boat, right over me. And I just get kind of that feeling of anxiousness in my body. My thoughts are fearful. And the waves continuously go past me and beat up against the boat. Some of them really big, some of them smaller, but I feel every one of them. And as I try to notice any thoughts and feeling that arise in me as well. And I notice these internal experiences that happen to me. And some of them are really uncomfortable, especially at this time, when I'm under a certain amount of pressure from outside. And I just imagine myself in this boat riding these waves, allowing my thoughts and my feelings just to rise and fall within me, even though it's, quite uncomfortable at times. But sometimes that uncomfortableness kind of floats away. And these thoughts and feelings come and they go. They rise and they fall. And I'm staying on the boat, right? And sometimes I'll notice that, I might have been swept overboard here and there. But this is all my imagination. So I can just notice that it's happened. I might have wandered off somewhere in my head or just found myself in the water. And I can just kind of climb back into my boat and continue to ride the waves. So I ask you, maybe you might want to experiment with that. Try it out. See you tomorrow.
Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman has embarked on a 12-week daily live challenge to disseminate a mixture of knowledge, combining his hand-picked golden nuggets from his personal library together with his decades of experience and learning. He is doing this as a committed action to service his values of contributing and helping others, using himself as the subject of this exercise. Despite his feelings of awkwardness, anxiousness and shame, which usually forms a barrier of uncomfortableness within, holding him back from accomplishing his goals. Dov Benyaacov-Kurtzman is an accomplished psychotherapist and clinical social worker with many years of learning and experience. And yet his self-disclosure of his vulnerability and openness is to demonstrate the human condition that we all experience from time to time. Disclaimer: the contents of this podcast, such as text, graphics, images and other material contained on the podcast, are for informational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, diagnosis or treatment. Always seek the advice of your mental health professional or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding your condition. Never disregard professional advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast.